Hey y'all, today is day 6, wow, of the Zesty mixed seed quilt. Time sure does fly. I'm actually trying a new recording format here in the editing program, or I should say the recording program, but it'll eventually get to the editing program. So hopefully the audio is better than before. Today is day 6, and as you can see on the Zesty mixed seed quilt information card here, the peel cover in is 5 to 6 days, so today is perfect. And as I'm sure you can see, we have a quilt that is peeling itself. That is a good and a bad thing, but it's in this case, because we're on day 6 and the quilt is evenly ballooned, aside from this little section over here, which I'm actually intending to use as my jumping off point for my time lapse, which will start as soon as this video ends. Yeah, this quilt is ready to peel. So first thing I'm going to do, because I do have a time lapse coming up as soon as this is done, I'm going to fill this to the middle of the coconut coir. And there you go. The water is now, I can see it because I've got this up on the, if you watched the video yesterday, you'll see that I have these 20 millimeter risers that push the quilt up so that I can take a picture of the top of the seed quilt from the side, which allows me to, capture video of the critters growing from the bottom to the top of the frame, which is awesome. But it also means that I need to add a lot more water. And that's the reason why I ignore all the markings in the tray, and I just make sure the middle of the coconut coir is where I put it, and that keeps things happy. So let's do a quick check here. Oh yeah, that paper is completely dry. Super awesome. I can actually see places where the paper is starting to get attacked by the microgreens, which is great. But again, this is the Hamama Zesty Mix. This is peel day, and we will be having a post-peel day time-lapse recording starting as soon as this video is over. So in this case, because this is virtually peeling itself, or actually peeling itself, I will just grab it from the place where it is peeling itself as a start, and I will start to peel. Now I did turn on the overhead LED grow lamps last night after my video because I wanted to dry out some of the sections on the left just to keep them a little bit happier, but also growing faster today. So that's why these are super green. These normally would not be green as this, but I am hitting them with some pretty hard light overnight. So even through the paper with 50% light attenuation, they still went from yellow to green. Unfortunately, because I did that, they went from yellow to green under the paper, and they went from yellow to green without being recorded, which is actually what I am more concerned about. I just ate a sprout. No, it wasn't a sprout, it was a microgreen. And not only was it a microgreen, but it was one of the microgreens that seems to add the most flavor to the Zesty mixed quilt. One of these days, I will figure out which one it is, so I can be like, oh yeah, that's the whatever. I know it's not mustard. Fairly certain it's not cabbage. I think it's arugula. One of these days I need to get some arugula seeds and just make a prime or a single seed quilt of arugula. Just grow them and see how they taste and be like, yep, that's the arugula. So anyway, as you can see, this was perfectly watered and perfectly drained. Nice even growth. Over here on the left, this section right here, just take my word for it, it is still wet. And you know what? That is a great illustration of well-drained versus not well-drained. Now this section actually, the whole section is okay. It probably could have gotten better drainage. I can actually see some wetness under this, and this, but this guy right here, this one section that is hardly growing at all, which again, I'm going to be using that intentionally for my time lapse today, which you guys will appreciate because you'll get to see some awesome growth, hopefully. But yeah, if you want the whole quilt to be perfectly germinated and with great growth and lots of yield in your harvest, this is the way to do it. Get a good soak, you know, uh, uh, in the directions. If you kind of watch the directions that I share, you kind of hold it under there until the sections go from that light tan to the dark brown, and then you just leave it alone. If your water level goes down too fast, you can add a little bit to the middle of the coconut coir, but honestly, most of the time, I mean, unless you've got like bright lights like I have here or a very low humidity environment, you don't have to add water very frequently, usually like once or twice during the growing session. And if it starts to smell, you can replace it, do a reset. But the main thing is drainage is more important than water. If you can get all the seeds soaked on that initial day, the next thing you have to worry about is proper drainage, the water draining from the top to the bottom, and secondarily, evaporating from the top into the air. That will give you results like this. If you don't get proper drainage, you will get results like this. And that's when people say, why does my quilt look spotty? It's because you've got seeds sitting in water and not germinating. Seeds that are drowning will not grow. Seeds that are well drained will grow. So fairly simple. 6-minute video, probably going to finish this up here in just a couple seconds. But again, this is the Hamama Zesty Mix Seed Quilt. This is obviously peel day on day 6. And we're going to be starting a time lapse here very, very soon, which I will be posting most likely tomorrow or maybe Thursday, depending on how awesome or fast or slow the growth rate of this section is. I can't really control that aside from just adding some airflow. But you will notice that when the time lapse is done, this section will be 100% recovered. I mean, it'll be probably similar to this, but it'll be 100% recovered because I will take all of the necessary steps to fix this, including basically letting it evaporate, helping evaporation. In this way, I'm actually doing it. These lights cook the quilt a little bit, so they kind of warm things up, and that helps with evaporation plus airflow and everything. But I will nurse this back to health in the next couple of days, and you'll see that it's going to be perfect by the time I put it in the window on Thursday or Friday. So any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them below. If you have any recommendations or suggestions, I take those too. If you are not a member of the Hamama Facebook group, it's the Hamama Friends Facebook group over on Facebook. You should totally join if you're interested in Hamama greens. If you're growing them, you totally need to be a part of that group, especially if you want to get some tips, tricks, recipes, that kind of stuff. If you want some help, people help in the group. But yeah, it's definitely an awesome group to be a part of. I also share all of my videos over there as well. But I've been posting my videos on YouTube directly and then sharing a link back because Facebook's been having issues with some of my Adobe Premiere output formats randomly. So, and YouTube just takes whatever I throw at it. So that's why I'm kind of posting all my stuff over on YouTube in a nice, easy place, and then posting links back to the Hamama Friends Facebook group. So again, this is Sean on Peel Day, and I'm looking forward to your questions, comments, and concerns. And I'm also looking forward to sharing the time lapse coming up probably on Thursday. Have a great day. Thanks.